Upon further review, the ruling on the field stands. This is the greatest sports podcast, First and Goat.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of First and Goat. Without further ado, let's get the show rocking and rolling. Luis, take it away, baby.
All right, we're just gonna dive right into it, guys.
Please.
Um, so the first thing I wanted to first, if I could do a quick shout out to our many listeners out there. Jose
Oh, yeah.
Garcia tuning in, and also G-Rod, Gerardo Arroyo, listening to us on Spotify while he's running 10 miles, who knows where, but he's out there listening to us. So shout out to those guys for sure. Um, I wanted to set the stage for you two gentlemen really quick. So I wanted to talk about the Ring of Honor. You were there, Sal, and we talked
Oh,
about it a little bit. So the Chicago Bulls last week honored a bunch of legendary coaches, staff, and uh, Bulls players. Uh, Missing were Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen. But there was a moment that got a lot of national attention, and people really talking bad about the Chicago fan base. They honored Jerry Krause, and Jerry Krause is dead, so obviously he wasn't there. So his widow was there. They showed her on the screen. The crowd booed, and she started crying. And then Ron Harper had to like, oh, it's okay. And then they went on to Tex Winter, and and then all week I just saw a bunch of ESPN heads talking about how what of a trash moment that was for Chicago fans. So as true Chicago fans, I wanted to see what your thoughts were about that incident. Why don't we start with you, Sal? Since you were there, you were live in the building. Were you leading the booze, or were you telling people to like take it easy?
come on, man. You should already know what type of guy I am already. Come on, man.
So you
I was
started.
not booing. I was not. I was not doing the booze. I wasn't leading the booze.
Hmm.
I'm not a big booer. Um, just, just not. I I was cheering. I cheer for everybody. I mean, they're in the Ring of Honor for a reason, you know.
Hmm.
Um, and I was never that much of a Jerry Cross hater. Maybe when I was young, because I didn't know any better, like I didn't know much. But I go like, I mean, I give credit where credit is due, and I think most people, casuals, are going based on the uh like the Last Dance documentary, and
Sure.
they're basing all the opinions on that, and those are piece of shit fans, even the ones that know better that still booed just for the sake of, I don't know why, maybe it's for the sake of booing just fucking because it's a cool thing to do. I never got it. I said Cross was a big part of the championships. You know, Michael and company didn't win any before until he got there. He was one that he put those pieces together. There's some like cool coach, him having the foresight to bring Rodman in, um, paying for Pippen. Like he built that team. Like whether you like it or not, they said Jordan didn't win before until he got there. Um, so I don't know. I give credit. I heard stories, and I get. I know he probably wasn't the easiest person to get along with. Maybe like a abrasive dude, but at the end of the day, he got the job done. He was there to build the team, and he did a real good. He did a fucking real good job. Six
Fair enough.
finals out of eight.
Yep.
So who knows how many more finals appearances. If Jordan didn't retire, but I mean, he did a good job. Kudos to him. It was very sad. I just know when I just knew when his name was gonna come up, the Blues are coming. I told my brother that,
Hmm.
man, this is gonna happen. I just didn't know his wife was gonna be the one that was gonna be sick, and that was a sad moment. Like she was already choked up already,
Hmm.
So I was thrown off because especially when they saw that she was already, I don't know if it was because she was getting emotional of her husband
Hmm.
or to me I don't know if it was the booze. I said the minute they showed Jerry Cross and they cut back, if you remember seeing it, they cut to her. She was already kind of choked up and emotional. And to me, the booze kind of like, yeah, they started right before they cut to her. She was crying, but that seemed kind of quick. So I don't know. They said like it's still a jerk move. Yeah, I think they
Yeah.
still should have done that. But I don't know if she was already getting choked up to begin with because she was probably remembering her husband, and then this kind of just probably pushed over the edge or kind of added to it. Or who knows, maybe it was the booze and they just fucking triggered, but I don't know. But I'm glad she's doing all right. I think she's saying the positive is what she say? Something like the positive is just getting a lot of positive fucking thoughts and prayers and all that stuff like
Yeah,
that.
like
And
people are like reaching out to her and whatnot.
yeah, making her forget the negative. So I mean, I don't know. You guys watched it live, but what do you? I mean, not live. Like first, what did you guys think when you saw it on the jumbo on
Yeah,
the
what
TV?
about you, Adan?
I was watching, but I think because all those guys weren't there, I kept on switching the channel, to be honest. Um, I saw, I knew that Ryman and Jordan weren't going to be there, and then I saw that Pippen wasn't there, so I kind of saw a little bit, and then I turned. So I didn't see this specific uh, moment, and I didn't really see the talk shows talking about it, but my friends asked me about it, like, "Hey, what's going on? In Chicago, they're bullying this guy about." So you took some of the stuff that I wrote down as soon as Luis asked the question. The Last Dance had a lot to do with it. They portrayed Krause in a negative light. Like he was number one. They blame him for breaking up the dynasty, right? Because it's like,
Right.
we would have all been back. This didn't have to be the Last Dance, but Krause said Phil Jackson isn't coming back, and then Jordan's not coming, and he traded Pippen. They also blame him for, in part, for the deal that Pippen got that they didn't want to renegotiate. So the Last Dance really painted him in a really negative way, and that's what people remember. But like you said, Sal, fans that don't know the history, Krause was a big part in creating the dynasty. And the thing is, I think he was so confident about himself because he did it. I think he felt that he was going to be able to do it again, right? So in his mind, he wanted Pippen. He got Pippen. He wanted Kukoc. He got Kukoc and all this stuff, all these moves that he wanted. They like panned out for him. And now he had a successor for Phil Jackson. And he had been doing great. So in his mind, he could have done it, and he tried, and it didn't work because it was a combination of everything that he had put together. But yeah, it's just fans that don't know the history, and they got clouded by what the Last Dance talked about it. I'll say this though, I guess it's kind of like a good thing that people are surprised that Chicago fans would do that, which means that we don't have that bad of a reputation. If it would have been in Philadelphia, I don't think people would have been like, "Oh my God, Philly fans are booing this guy that they blame for breaking up their dynasty." No way. So the fact that Chicago actually doesn't have that bad of a reputation and this got so much attention, it's probably a good pitch of the fans.
Pretty interesting take, guys. A little different than mine. I am I guess the voice of the people, aka of the casual fan base out there. But I just had a different perspective on it. You guys have a very mature, seasoned approach, but I'll say one thing, all kidding aside, before I go into, what I thought about it. You know, Jerry Krause was all those guys. It wasn't just Michael Jordan or just Phil Jackson. It was a combination of all those guys and Jerry Krause putting the championship together. So as a sports fan, you do appreciate that because otherwise we wouldn't have experienced all those championships, during our youth. Uh, but growing up, not under kind of like a little bit what Sal said in the beginning, being a lot younger, not understanding how everything worked. I thought Jerry Krause was an enemy. This is before The Last Dance because he was even portrayed back in the day in sports radio and in the media, as kind of like I just feel like he felt like he should get more credit, right? That's what he came about. Like, how many GMs do you know nowadays that are front and center, you know, begging for credit? I don't think it happens as much. He was, but he was, as a Chicago fan. I don't know how other franchises were, but he wanted to, you know, make it known that, hey, I'm a big part of this. So to me, it rubbed me a wrong way as a young Chicago Bulls fan, which I was just in my head, it was just all Michael Jordan, which that so it's already coming from a bad perspective, right? That I'm seeing it. But once Jordan retired and Jackson moved on, and they traded Pippen, then it was kind of like I was annoyed. I don't think I hate the guy. I was annoyed by him because he put us through as a Chicago Bulls fan some terrible seasons. When he handpicked like Tim Floyd, that guy couldn't like coach for in like it was just like bad draft pick and then he would Tyson Chandler turned out to be a decent player, but drafting like Chandler and Curry back to back and like that was his big, they had high draft picks. Um and anyway, so I was just more annoyed by him as a Chicago fan, just like as I think anybody would be annoyed at their GM when their team's like not losing. Like I'm not a big Blackhawks fan, but I think forever supposedly the old man held that franchise back, and then I think when the Sun came in, then he like shook things up and then made them into contenders. So to me, Kraus was nothing more that like a GM that really did well because of like Phil Jackson, Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan. It was a combination of all that. It was not just him. And I felt like he wanted so much credit for it. Then I was annoyed by the product that he put out on the floor when he was trying to just rebuild the franchise. So I've always so anyway, with that said, when they honored him, I'm not gonna lie, I think the petty part of me would have booed him. It makes me uncomfortable to see older people cry. So I think once I would have seen his wife crying, I would have like just been like, I would have started like boo and then like boo.
That's
I would have
later.
just toned it
Damage is
down.
done. Damage is
Like
done
damage
already.
is done. And I understand that, but then I'm like, but then I would then like a typical, fanatical fan, I blame the Bulls. Like, they're putting it on Chicago fans. How do the Chicago Bulls think that putting this guy in the screen? When have they ever done that? When has there been a Jerry Krause night? Hey, welcome to Jerry Krause bobblehead night. Hey, welcome to Jerry Krause appreciation. We're gonna retire his fucking plaque from his desk. Like, they've never done that I know of. And you know why? Because they would boo the shit out of him. So why would they invite his widow, put her in the fucking folding chair, and then here you go, maybe we'll hide her, and let's put him in there. Oh, you guys are trash. Why would you do that? Why would you put that lady in a
Because he's in
situation?
the Ring of Honor. That's why. I mean,
Yeah,
no
yeah, you're
GM
right.
gets
Though.
a bobblehead night. Let's see.
I know, no, you're right. But I'm just saying, I think people do get, brought back and like, uh, you know, I guarantee you, if that guy was ever in the United Center and the camera went to him while he was still alive, I'm sure he got booed. Like I don't know. There's just certain personas, fair or unfair, and the Bulls. So I put it more on the Bulls than on the fans. That's what annoyed me.
I
That
think if the Bulls don't put him out there and honor him, I think that's a dirtbag move. Put him up
I
there.
get you though. I get you.
No, don't blame him. I think you blame you hold the people accountable. You hold the fans accountable.
Yeah,
Don't put them organization. They did the right move. They honored him. They put this picture up there. You can't just fucking
yeah,
you got to think about it too. Jerry had bosses.
yeah,
He was answering to Reinsdorf, and Reinsdorf didn't want to pay the X amount of money, and
yeah,
he wanted to move on. So at the end, he was just kind of like the middleman. That he can't
yeah,
shoot the messenger. And yeah, I mean, I
yeah.
think it was a dirtbag move. I think too, they said it's um yeah, we didn't have any good years after Jordan left, But
It
I
was
mean,
bad,
there
man.
were they could have been, like it wouldn't pan out because McGrady was hurting, but there were like rumors already, the trades of moving out and transitioning and bringing in trading away Pippen and bringing in a guy like Tracy McGrady. So like he had the vision.
Yeah, you're
Remember
right.
when Grant Hill and Tim Duncan and
Yeah,
like
he did
I think
put
we had a
those.
good shot at
Yeah,
bringing in, but I think Jordan and company
um,
once they left, I think they just kind of
bringing in
tarnished the
Kukoc,
reputation.
guys like that, like
Yeah,
yeah,
but I think,
so yeah,
yeah, but I think once Jordan and all them left, like I think they got a bad reputation, and I think they got bad stigma. Nobody wanted to sign. I mean, they
yeah,
couldn't. He couldn't sign a decent free agent. I mean, you had to overpay just to get a decent free agent,
yeah,
and but I mean, so and GM, and then I hear like, oh well, you know, Jordan could have won it with GM. How hard could it be? Like, it's a pretty hard job, right?
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
He couldn't do it. He
yeah,
couldn't.
exactly. He couldn't do it. He didn't do it with Wizards. He didn't do it with Bobcats, and
No.
so like he should know better. That's a pretty fucking tough job,
Yeah,
drafting, scouting, gluing and putting the teams together. So they said he firsthand should know how tough of a job it is, and he should get. But Jordan being petty, he's not
yeah.
that in.
I guess my thing was I didn't think twice when it happened. The petty side of me was like, boo, and I'm like, oh shit, poor lady, that sucks. And then I was like, man, fucking bulls, why did they do it? And then I didn't think anything of it. I understood it, but I wasn't like adamant, like, you know. And then until I saw that people were talking shit, everybody that was there, and then everybody, bunch of ESPN heads, and I was like, hey man, why don't you keep Chicago's name out of your mouth? Like you don't even know what happened. But
I'm
whatever.
upset
All
that we
right.
don't talk about them.
All right. So moving on to the next guys, I wanted to just really quickly see if I could get your feedback on the wild card weekend that we just had in the NFL. So we don't have to go through all of it, but so if we don't go through all the games, I'm gonna start with you, Adan, just so you get an idea. What was the game that surprised you the most? How it panned out, and why don't we just do that? Which game, from the wild card weekend surprised you the most on the outcome?
That's a good one. It's between Browns and Texans or
Mm-hmm.
Packers Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go with Packers Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Cowboys were undefeated at home during the season. This is the third year in a row where they win 12 games. And I think in general, if you look back at history, and this is one stat I don't have. This isn't the AP stat. But I think if you look in history, teams that have won 12 games minimum for like a period of 3 years or more, they usually reach the Super Bowl at some point. And the Cowboys, I don't remember anybody picking the Packers at all. Like none of us, none of the professionals. They were talking about, hey, Packers already had a successful season. This is
Right.
already great for them.
Happy to
Last
be
year they missed it with Aaron Rodgers. The Lions knocked them out the last game. This year they pulled it off, won the last game to get in the playoffs, and they just destroyed them. What was it, like 27-0? Yeah, so that's the one that surprised me the most. I just couldn't believe it. I don't know if they just overlooked them. I don't know if the game plan was bad. I don't know if the players just don't perform in the biggest games, but I couldn't believe that that's how badly the Packers beat them.
What about you, Seth?
I was trying to be different, but I'm not. I think that's again surprises me only because I'm not saying I didn't think they want to win easily because the Packers were playing good. Jordan Love was kicking ass. The offense was clicking. That defensive unit was working well together. But I did think at Dallas, the way they've been, they just I think they would have put up a fight. I thought it was a close game. I'll be honest, if the game for some reason, whatever, obviously, record-wise, if it was at Green Bay, I might have picked Green Bay just because they were playing. But I said no. I said my edge is like, fuck it, you're playing at home at Dallas. I'm not sold. I wasn't too sold on their defense, but their offense was clicking with CeeDee Lamb and company.
Yeah.
And then I thought like they were good for at least 3 easy touchdowns in the game, and then plus, a turnover here and there, a field goal. But I said that wasn't the case. The Green Bay, Jordan Love just dissected their defenses, fucking tore them apart, and it was never the game. I wanted to see the Browns and Texans, because that was my low value Super Bowl pick. Not my official pick. I just like the value was 3,000, but I was wrong. I
You
did.
should have switched.
No, I was. I was going to switch the Super Bowl because I already made the bet. I made the bet. I thought it was good value, but going into it, but I didn't let me. He said it wasn't allowed because I had picked out it. But man, I wasn't leaving. I think he picked up on it. I was getting leery, fucking the way at Texans and the way CJ was playing and the offense was clicking. Like, man, it's not gonna be a cakewalk, man. But I said no. I have to stick with the Browns. And I did kind of want to pick the Texans, and that was my value pick. But like, man, fuck it. But
I have something really quick before you go, Luis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because we touched on that. So AP, I gotta call it something else. I think stat of the night is too lame. I don't know.
No, I like
Uh,
it. So we've been
AP
using
Like
the whole time.
AP class of the week. I don't know. So, CJ, this is the third player ever to lead the league. This is in history to lead the league in passing yards per game and touchdown to interception ratio in a season. He's a fucking rookie, and he's the
Damn.
only third quarterback ever to do that. The other
Damn.
two, Tom Brady and Joe Montana.
Shit.
Both of those
That's
guys were first team All Pro, and they won the MVP and the Offensive Player of the Year that year that they fucking had those fucking stats. That's
That
crazy for a fucking
crazy.
rookie. All right,
That's an
I'm done.
awesome. That's crazy. I did not know that. That's nuts. So I was gonna go the same way. I picked the fucking Cowboys to win the Super Bowl, and they got knocked out the first fucking game they played. So, but I'll go a little bit different. Eagles Bucks. I know the Eagles were banged up and they were playing at Tampa. I just didn't expect for them to lay down the way they did. I
Not
was
this
able to
guy. Not this
catch.
guy.
I was trying to. I watched that whole game. I thought it would. I just thought it would be closer. Like I didn't, and I picked them to win.
Not this guy.
I'm not sold on the Bucks. I know the Bucks have been playing um better than the Eagles. The Eagles have gone they're on polar opposite directions. So the writing was on the wall, but I think it just came to preference. I really like Jalen Hurts versus I can't stand Baker Mayfield. I don't think I don't get it. I don't but here he is, fucking eliminating the Eagles. So I'll just
That is,
that game fucking annoyed me.
is that another guy that you boo? Bayfield? Is that
Oh
another
yeah,
guy that
I
you
boo
boo?
his ass. I want him to fail. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't care for him. No comeback story, rooting for me on that punk ass. I was glad when he got bounced from where the hell was he, Cleveland or whatever, and then he went through a bunch of other, and now, but that's okay. He's not gonna. That's it. I think the next game he'll get bounced, so, and then that'll be it for the. I don't think they'll. I don't think they'll beat Detroit, even though a lot of people are picking Tampa. So that's a
Not
great
this guy.
segue to our next one. That's why you guys tune in every week, Gerardo and Jose, if you made it this far into the episode, because you want to know live picks on the spot. We're gonna do rapid fire. We don't have to go into it, and this is not our official picks between us. We have our official, but just gut feeling. Obviously, we got to look at a lot of factors before game time. But we'll start with you, Adan. Texans at Ravens. Who do you got?
I'm going all home teams. I'll just tell you that from the beginning.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, you made it nice and easy for us. So Adan will go with the Ravens. Sal,
Ravens,
same.
Niners. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Ravens as much as well as Texas and company, CJ Stroud's company has been playing well, and then all those fancy stats he's rattle out. I think it's gonna come to an end. I think they're gonna get beaten, and they're gonna get beaten bad.
Shit.
Um,
I don't know
I'm
about that.
taking I think so. I
Good.
think
What about the rust factor? Right, because I think Lamar didn't play the last game. Plus, they had the bye, so it's gotta be what, like a couple of weeks since he played. But I'm still picking him. I'm just throwing it out there for you guys.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be a lot for him as a rookie to go away game playoff at Baltimore. So fans are gonna be pretty out there. I mean, this is a tested team, and this team went all the way to the West Coast and whooped 49ers. They stomped on them. They beat Miami. That was a contender.
Yeah.
I think this is. I mean, they're gonna have like I think it's gonna be a pretty lopsided score. I'm not super. Let's just say like 30-13 or something like that, or 33-17, something like that. It's gonna be,
Whoa. Okay.
yeah. I got him on the spread minus 9.5. Jump on that spread 9.5.
All right. So to save some time here, guys, it's Texans at Ravens, Packers at 49ers, Bucks at Lions, Chiefs at Bills. So I'm with Adan. I looked at it as of right now, unless something really, I have all the home teams winning. Sal, do you have anybody in there different, kind of like you're leaning towards an upset?
I got Niners. I got the same thing. I think they're gonna jump on them. The Packers are probably gonna make a comeback, but not gonna be good enough on the, like 33-24 score or something like that. Who else? I think Detroit has the edge at home. I don't know. That's a toss up too. I'm leaning towards Detroit
Yeah.
right now. They're just a little bit more explosive.
Yeah.
It just giving the edge at home. And then at Buffalo, right
Chiefs.
now I could change it, but I'm going KC. I'm going KC.
Mm.
I think they've been playing with injuries lately. I think a few more starters got hurt for Buffalo. I think they're just a little depleted on the defensive end. And Mahomes is Mahomes, you know.
Mhm.
I just think right now I'm leaning towards KC. That's my parlay actually right now. I'm doing the Baltimore minus 9.5, Niners minus 9.5, Detroit money line, and the KC money line for plus
Mm.
1003. So that's what I'm going. Unless the last one changes, I would say I'm not upset, but like whatever. Like, and I told everybody, if you watch this now for some reason, but between now and then the weekend, do your homework. Look at injuries, weather reports, or suspensions, or whatever. Surprises might arise. But yeah, that's what
Nice. I like it. I like it.
I gotta make a comeback. I'm a little salty. I lost 2 games this first round. I think I only lost 2 or 3 in like the entire last 2 years. So I don't like that. I don't like that. That's it. I mean, I think that's what happened. Is I overthought it. But that's what.
Nine
With
and a
that
half
said,
is a lot.
The what?
9.5 is a lot, man.
1 by 10, I think.
Ravens, 49ers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Um, Adon, do you have where we're at so far in the playoffs?
Yeah, we're all
The same?
well, we picked different games, but we ended up only getting half right. So let me show you.
I think I only got 2 wrong.
No, you and I both had the Browns and they lost. Luis picked the
Right.
Texans. I thought maybe you were gonna go with the Texans against the Ravens.
What
And Luis, the way you were going.
Mhm.
And then
How did I get 50? Who did I got? Brown.
you
Fucking
had
Chiefs, man.
Cowboys.
Browns, Chiefs,
Oh, I
Bill.
was flip flopping. I went with the Rams last minute. That's right. That's right.
Those
Right.
were the Rams, yeah.
It's funny. Yeah, we
It's,
just that's hilarious. Fucking
That's right. I
Lions,
knocked that one too.
fucking Eagles. I should have picked the Bucks. I just hate
That's a
Baker
bad no
Mayfield so
call.
much. Such
I
a
thought
stupid.
you were just going like against my votes, you know, because
No, no.
look at it, like you're just
Bucks
going
Eagles.
like the
I
opposite.
was really annoyed by it, but it's just of course that's why I don't bet because I can't do it with my head. I just fucking I hate Baker Mayfield. I don't know.
I'm mad at the
So
Lions game.
overall, I still got a 5
Five.
games on you, please. Yeah, there's only a few games left, right?
That's it, man. I need you, and we have
Four.
we have all the same picks.
There's only 7 games left.
And these next 4 as
Sal's got us by double digits. So even if
We could make it interesting. Make the last games come by 2 points or something. I don't know.
or if we pick what do you call it?
The underdog.
The underdog. But no, I like
if Sal goes with the Chiefs, are the Chiefs the underdog? I actually don't know.
Yeah, they are.
I assume they are.
Yeah, they are.
So we could do something like that. If you go with the underdog and they win, you get 2. If they lose, you get a -1. Boom.
Yeah, I think that's fair because then
That's another way to get you down, Sal. You pick the underdog and they lose -1.
Chiefs, Bills. I'm pretty. Is KC the underdog on that? They have to be, I would think.
Yeah, Bookie says they are.
Yeah, they are. What's the other thing too? Yeah, man, talk about that Rams game. I was so mad. Did you watch the ending? That bad no call on the cool?
I did. They did have a bunch of them, man. I don't know if they were just hyped on Detroit.
They're driving. If they didn't hold him down, he would have caught that pass.
They
would have kept.
there was you were well the one you called out that was a no that they could have called that. To end that game, there was a couple. So it wasn't like Detroit, like they had some calls go their way at the end of the game. So I didn't watch the whole game, so I don't know. That's how football is. Like maybe the Chargers got some, but when it counted towards the end, yeah, that I was surprised because even the players, the way is like the players' reaction. Detroit players were like looking like saying like no flag, no flag. Like you don't act like that if you legitimately think you made a good play. So and they didn't call shit and they were like, hell yeah. Come on, come over here. All right.
It,
So stay. Oh, go ahead then.
no, I didn't watch the whole game either, but it seemed like the Lions couldn't get anything done like in the second half, right? It seemed like all the
Yeah.
momentum was with the Rams, and they just got lucky. I don't know if that's the right word, but they were able
Yeah.
to just withstand it.
That's what I'm kind of leery because I mean, I was impressed with the Eagles because I said the secondary's been trashed. They lost like 1 out of the last 5. They only won 1 out of the last 6 games, so they're like 1-5 the last 6 games. I was
Mhm.
telling you they're shit. Now they're going to Detroit. I know they're at home, but Detroit's pass defense isn't that great either. But
Mhm.
if they're right now, so they got the little momentum. They're right at home. Tampa was playing at home, so that's the only edge I'm giving them right now. So and it's a tough
Um.
feeling, man. 'Cause I think like fucking Josh Allen is due. You're at home. How the fuck are you gonna if you're gonna
Did you see
win one?
do you see that reporter? Sorry, there was a reporter asking the head coach of Tampa Bay.
Oh
It's like,
yes,
oh,
I did.
Detroit is gonna be, like it's snowing and it's gonna
Oh
be like
yeah.
-10, and the coach is just looking at her like, it's like they play in a dome, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they're
That's
like,
how
no,
you're gonna prepare,
I'm not
right?
worried about it.
I saw that,
Yeah,
man.
that's
And there's people are terrible out there. And then it was a woman reporter,
gen-
so the guys,
gender
Well,
equality
if
finally.
it would have been
people
a
were
guy,
like, they were like talking shit. They were like, I'm like, hey, gee, I don't know. That was a weird question.
Women in sports are just so
the
can't
opinions
stand
of
it
El
sometimes.
Bookie don't reflect the opinions of
It's just a joke.
Get us scared.
first and goat.
It's
He's
just
over
a
here
joke, man.
defending
No,
Jerry Krause, and then
I
over
love
here,
them,
holy
especially
shit.
especially the pretty ones. I love them. I love them, especially the pretty ones.
All right. So really quickly, staying with football, the most annoying question, because I don't know the answer to guys. So I'm hoping Sal and Adon have the answer. And I'm gonna kick it off to Sal. We've been talking about it every week. Staying with finishing up with football, fucking Chicago Bears. I don't think they even fucking know what they're gonna do. Sal, as time goes by, the kid declared for the draft, Caleb Williams, right?
Yeah,
Um, where do you stand with it right now? I know it could change from week to week. Right now, what do you care? Is it, hey, trade Justin Fields, don't trade him? You know, where do you stand with it right now with
I mean,
everything?
as of right now, I'm still the Justin Fields guy. That's
Hmm.
the guy I want to go with. I think he improved significantly the second half of the year. If you think about it, if he didn't miss those 2-3 games, the Bears are probably in the playoffs right now, and nobody would have this conversation. So he missed 2 or 3 games, right? Something like that, or
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, in time to get. So you win one of those games, or maybe two. Is just like you're in the playoffs. You beat the Packers. The Packers. Who knows what happens in the playoffs? But just because he makes the playoffs, no one's gonna have this conversation. Oh, we got the quarterback. He lets us play. Blah blah blah. I don't know. That's the guy I'm going with right now. Let's say that Caleb isn't the guy. I just think Justin Fields like you're building something and you're not thinking the right track, and all of a sudden you're just gonna derail it and just start all over from scratch. They said I don't claim to have the right answer. I'm just going with my gut. Um, but I just know whatever the Bears do, it's gonna end up being the wrong. I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like they just
Got
can't get
it.
it right. I don't know. I'm Justin Fields. If I look into it, I'll give you an official answer next week. How about that? But right now, just to see, the only thing I will tell you if you get like an absurd offer for him, like someone's really desperate and they come like, damn, that's kind of hard to decline.
Yeah.
Then maybe, but I don't know who's out there. I hear Lance is interested. I don't know who I heard, but I mean, if they come out swinging and they have maybe I'll entertain the offer. But right now, I like Justin Fields. I like his legs. I like his leadership. his team's behind. That's another thing too. Everybody talks about leadership qualities, and you have a leader, and it looks like he has a locker room right now. There's not one person that, or even an anonymous source, an anonymous player that's question his leadership skills, his playmaking ability, question that he's the franchise quarterback. So like you surround with some good pieces, an offensive line, a running game, you got yourself a good offense. I mean, that defense is already coming along. As a unit, it's pretty solid. Build a solid offense, put some pieces around them, and I think you got yourself a Super Bowl contender. But
Oh yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
What about you, Dan?
So, I agree with Sal that whatever they end up doing is probably gonna be the wrong thing, and we're gonna end up regretting it. Whatever it is, the kid feels fucking Caleb Williams gonna be a stud somewhere, or they take Caleb and Fields is gonna be a fucking amazing. So that it just always happens to the Bears. But I would say they should shop both of them around, like you're saying. So okay, let's see what we could get for Fields. See if there's an offer that we can't pass up. See what we could get for the #1 pick. See if there's an offer we can pass up. I'm gonna tell you right now what they're gonna do. This isn't what I'm saying they should do. I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna do. They're already talking to the coach from USC, right? I think to be their offensive coordinator or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's fucking telling me what they plan on doing. So if they could trade Fields to Atlanta, which he'll kick ass there with the Falcons, right? They're playing indoors on turf or whatever.
Yeah.
They could trade Fields to Atlanta, get some good picks. They're gonna get Caleb Williams. Hopefully, set up the O-line with some picks, get them some more weapons. The defense is coming along. The only problem with that is we usually do this where we waste a good defense because we're always trying to develop the offense and we never have any continuation. That's what Sal, I think, Fields, like you said, he's coming along. He fucking had a great ending to the season. The defense is coming along. It could be a all at the same time could work out together. But I'm telling you, they're gonna trade Fields. They're gonna get Caleb Williams, and it's gonna be another couple of years of him developing and all that stuff, wasting the defense, and we're gonna go nowhere. But maybe Caleb is gonna be amazing. I don't know.
Uh-oh. You lost your audio, Luke.
Oh, you did? That's weird. No, what the hell?
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Until we figure this out, one thing I did want to add is I don't know what ever happened to drafting and it takes time to develop a quarterback. There's some that just from the get-go jump in there and they do a fine job. But I don't see what the big deal is. This is third year going forward. He's improving. You're making progress. Tom Brady didn't start as a rookie. Mahomes didn't start as a rookie.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers didn't start as a rookie. Jordan Love is playing excellent. He didn't start as a rookie.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Fuck my bad, guys. I don't know what the fuck.
So there's late
Yeah, a
bloomers
lot of
too.
them.
I don't get why people want instant success. Because
Yeah.
it's like Caleb. You throw him on there, you throw Caleb in there, maybe he does well, and you could ruin the guy too. I'm not seeing guys like
So-
Mitch.
So what would you do? You would take Caleb and keep Fields and have Caleb on the bench? Is that what you would do?
No, definitely not. It's too much. I mean, no. It's just no,
I
because
will-
then you could lose one or the other. I don't. You know what? Let me think about that one more. But it's just don't do and I thought about that before. That's something I did consider in the past. But I feel like nowadays social media, it'll split the locker room, and they'll just I don't see it going well for Fields.
Mhm.
And it can't go bad for Caleb because it can't go bad if you're just on the bench anyway. So the only
Yeah,
one
it's just
that go bad for is for Fields. So
Yeah, it's just the #1 pick. That's not really what you want to do. But just to kind of put a point in it, like last year, the Panthers traded to the Bears for the #1 pick and is it Bryce Young? I know it's Young. I forget his first name.
Yeah, Franklin,
Yeah, but if you compare him to CJ, it's like, oh fuck, we fucked up. We gave up all this stuff. Now they're gonna have our number one this year, and we ended up with this guy. But you never know. It's only 1 year. Like Young could still be a really good, productive quarterback. It's just when you compare them to some of the other talent, especially CJ, and I think Levi from the Titans did well. It just for the number one pick, he just didn't produce.
yeah.
Just so to wrap this up too, guys. Yeah, I kind of I'm a Justin Fields fan, so I would rather them try to figure out to keep them and maximize the picks that they do have or trade the number one or whatever. What do you guys think of the pairing them up with Marvin Harrison Jr.? Like a scenario where, like, I like that. Like fuck, like you could have Fields and that guy instead of Caleb and some other players. So that's kind of like right now the flavor of the week for me right now. Like I'm like, yeah, man, that sounds pretty good.
I think that's you hit it. I think that's most or many Bears fans' dream. Getting Harrison Jr. in here, and then you pair him up with a guy like DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mooney,
like
Mooney, and the what's the tight end?
Matt. Yeah, I mean, you're pretty solid. You bring in a running back. I think Eckler might be a free agent. You bring, I mean, like any quarterback could be successful. And like I said, especially with like legs, like Fields, like that guy could make some plays, man. So, yeah, in my dream scenario, if you trade out the number one pick, I hope that it's not that how should I say, they don't fall too far down because someone's gonna snatch up Harrison early. I can see quarterbacks going 1 and 2, but after 3 and down, like Harrison it's fair game, and that's a tough one. Like, how low do you want to trade? Do you want to get a bunch of picks in the future first rounders or whatever, or just trade down a couple picks? But then are those teams gonna call your bluff and know that you're not gonna pick Caleb and you want Harrison,
Right.
so they're not gonna offer you much? And so I know there's a lot to think about, but
Before
Yeah.
the Bears won, what was it, like 3 of their last 4, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I think they had the number 1 from the Panthers, and they had like the number 7 for themselves. And Mike Greeny on his show, he said that what the Bears should do was trade Fields, number 1 get Caleb with a number 7 pick, get Harrison Jr. and pair those guys up and get a new coach. That was
I just don't think
his
Harrison
solution
beat
to
them.
the Bears.
Who said that?
Mike Greeny.
I just don't
Green
think
Bird guy.
Harrison would fall.
He
I don't
he's
think
from
Harrison falls down to 7.
because there's like 4 or 5 quarterbacks that are supposed to be like really good this year that are no.
Yeah, but I don't know
It
if he'll.
depends on the need. It depends on the need of the other 6
Right.
teams because I think they're one of them that's in the top 5. They're like, oh, they have to get an offensive lineman, and apparently there's this really good one. I don't know. I don't follow college
Because
football.
Arizona's like 4, and from what I know, they're not moving away from Kyler. They're gonna be stuck with Kyler. So why not get Harrison Jr.? Why not give him that guy?
hmm
And then after that, Washington's trying to go for a quarterback. If the one they like is still available, who's 6? I gotta look at the stats. The
6
draft
But
order.
is
the Bears, the
Giants, I think.
Bears, but the Bears are 1 and what 11 now. They don't have the 7th anymore.
Oh,
That's when that was
9, I
like
think,
the 10th, no?
1
9 or 10th?
or maybe the 10th. I thought.
Yeah, I just don't see him getting past Arizona. They're gonna stick with Kyler, so why don't you give him a weapon like that?
Yeah.
Um,
I like the
so
mock draft, that they trade with Washington so that Washington could get Caleb and then they get Harrison, and I don't know, maybe they get something out of doing that, that switch. So we'll see. I mean, that's why I wanted to get your feedback and thoughts, and guys, to pretty much wrap up the show here. I kind of wanted to go a little bit of different direction these last couple of minutes. It's mid-January, and I wanted to talk about our guys, White Sox. They haven't done shit. Free agency. They didn't do shit last season. I feel like as a podcast, we haven't been able to talk about the White Sox, but today there's been news that there's serious talks of getting out of guaranteed rate field and moving their stadium um, over by Roosevelt and Clark. And I wanted to get your thoughts as White Sox fans. Do you care, not care? Excited, not excited? We'll start with you, Sal. If the White Sox moved out of guaranteed rate and then instead of playing there, moving out somewhere else, they went and moved over to Roosevelt and Clark. Is that something you would be excited about?
I care. I care enough to tell them to shut the fuck up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Get over it. Like, fucking, uh, I mean, you got a perfectly good ballpark right now.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of it. Guaranteed rate
Yeah.
now, right?
Yeah.
I know when it first opened up, it wasn't the sexiest of them all, but as time went on, they did a little remodeling, they refurbished it, and I think it's solid. I have fun. I love that ballpark. You know, like I mean, I know I might be biased, but I mean, I've seen some other more luxurious looking ballpark, but I like this. This is a baseball park. You know, this is a bit.
Mhm.
This is you know, I know they complain about the sky. They should have thought about it when they built it. Facing the skyline and all that shit. Like what the fuck? Like it's not rocket science. You fucking need. You don't need an engineer to fucking think about that one. But like, yeah, it is what it is. Now you're gonna just move away. What are you gonna do with that one? I don't know. And then we're gonna pay for that taxpayers. I'm over that shit. Like, if they manage to pull a deal, like whatever. Like, but it's just fucking it. Until you fucking put fans in this one, you just shut the fuck up. Until you put a good product, focus on putting a fucking product. Like, it just stop it, fucking sell the team already. Fucking sell
Love
the
it.
team.
What about you with that?
Yeah, I'm very disappointed. So I saw the story like you. I'm like, what's going on? And I saw Sox in serious talk, and I'm like, fuck yeah, who are we getting? Like, what are they trying to do? And then I saw moving. I didn't even click on that story. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, like Sel said, start getting people in the seats here. Put a good product. You start because all they do is advertisement, right? All they do is sell advertisement. That's how they get
Yeah.
more revenue. And I get it. They don't have the same level of fans going there than the Cubs
Cubs.
do. But I think right now the Sox is all about how can we advertise more. So I'm guessing moving is part of that whole thing. That area is more crowded, and they're gonna get more fucking sponsors. And with the sponsors comes the money. But if they put a good product and if they put a winning team, they're gonna get the fans to go back. And the stadium's nice. I mean, we've all been there. They got great food. It's not falling apart, nothing like that. Yeah, I don't even know how that's fucking a story, to be honest. I don't know why it started, I'm guessing, because the owners just want more revenue.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I agree with everything you guys said. I would prefer to be talking about the product. I care. Selfish, and I like going to the Sox Park right now. I like it more than, Wrigley Field's like a trash bin, even though they have all these amenities and, bars around it and the upgrades. It's a crap park. It's old as hell. So I enjoy watching. I go to just as you guys do, several Sox games a year. I have no issues with that ballpark. Now, with all that said, selfishly, unfortunately, I am the biggest sucker for the Chicago skyline. I know, a lot of people could care less about it or whatever. I'm a big sucker over it. I love that shit. So selfishly, I'm gonna keep going to the Sox games, if they suck or not. Um, if they're at Sox Park right now, at guaranteed rate, or if they move over here. So if I could get a skyline versus no skyline, I'm kind of, I'll take it. I'll
Over
take it.
here, over here. So what? They're gonna be like right next to your place or what?
No, I keep talking like I used to be very close to there, but now I'm not. Now I'm still adjusting to the move, but yeah, so but at the end of the day, I agree with you guys. You know, it's more important. I wish that they were doing better with the product, and then it would just be a little bit more exciting. But I was just curious to get your thoughts on it. So before Sal signs us off here, is there anything else that you guys wanted to bring to the table that was on your mind that you wanted to get across to our many listeners and Spotifyers?
And you go first. You got anything?
No, I got nothing, man. Just
right.
thanks to those two listeners. And happy birthday to Jose.
Hell yeah.
Number
Happy
one
Happy
fan,
birthday,
baby.
Jose.
And a very special birthday to one of our goat
right.
hosts. Raise your
Right.
hand if it's his birthday week.
Hell yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Salud.
Happy 21st, pal. Happy 21st.
All right.
All right, fellas. Was solid show. Sal, if you don't mind, signing us off, man.
All right, let's go, man. The rule in the field is that we had another great show. Thanks a lot, guys. And to our Spotify listeners, happy birthday, Jose.
Upon further review, the ruling on the field stands. This is the greatest sports podcast, First and Goat.